Well, hello, YouTube family. I'm Patty Jackson. I'm your auntie of pop culture, aka Ginger. It's not cute not knowing. Let's hug it in. There's so much going on, and one story that kind of slipped through the cracks for me was the Tyra Banks story. Now, remember when she headed up America's Next Top Model? It was about 2006. Well, the stories are coming out about Tyra. There was a famous meme that she did. We were rooting for you. How passionate she was and fired up. Well, they're saying that Tyra was a mean girl, a mean girl to the contestants. There was one lady who had a gap in her teeth, and Tyra told her, "You're never going to make it in this business. You need to go to the dentist." Okay, so they sent her to the dentist to get her gap fixed. She ain't get nothing fixed. She said, "Yeah, I went to the dentist, but I ain't get that fixed." I believe this same woman went on to win her cruelty towards her. There were instances of making some women wear blackface. If you were heavier, you were ridiculed a certain way about, the contestants of color, fat shaming, which I think goes on a lot. And there was one incident in particular that struck me. There was a contestant on America's Next Top Model, and she suffered the loss of her best friend. She just got back from the funeral. They said that Tyra made her do a photo shoot in a coffin. Now Tyra's been quiet. She's been quiet. Ooh, you should have known that these stories were going to come out. Maybe they had signed things. They can't say certain things, but Tyra. Now, she used to say back in the day that Naomi Campbell was so mean to her, but was Tyra Banks the mean girl all along? Tyra, I believe she's married now. She's a mom. She's put on weight. I think she gained like about 50 pounds, and because she's, kind of tall and big boned, people are kind of like little fat shaming her. But was Tyra Banks a meanie? Naomi Campbell is gracing the cover of Essence magazine. It's their 50th anniversary. They're saying this is the first time that she's been on the cover. And I was like, wait, I know you guys will let me know, but this is her first time? She's a supermodel. She's Naomi Campbell. I thought it was interesting, but that issue is coming out on newsstands soon. Tracy Ellis Ross, the movie is called The High Note. It's going to be streaming, going right to video on demand May 29th. This movie, The High Note, Dakota Johnson, Ice Cube. Tracy plays this diva on Diva. Her mom is Diana Ross in real life, so I guess it's not easy. It's easy for her to play diva. She's a diva on Diva who's brought back to life with the help of Dakota and Ice Cube with The High Note. She's also featured in Porter magazine in these photos. I've always loved Tracy Ellis Ross style, and she really just sets it off, but she's appearing in the latest edition. Okay, Michelle Obama's Becoming. It's streaming right now on Netflix. What do you think? Were you surprised? One thing that I thought was interesting, we're getting to hear the voices of Malia and Sasha, her daughters, because we never really heard them speak before. So it was like, wow, they're talking. She talked about being a career woman because she was a lawyer in her own right. Having children was a concession in her marriage to Barack. Now, I know it's not easy. Everybody's not made to be a mom. And you do got to take a concession because does something give and take? You got kids, you got your career. Does something settle, or do you have to put one of those on the back burner so that you could do one thing right? And for her, it was motherhood. But that was a concession where she says to be the woman that Barack needed by his side on this quest that he was on, they had to have kids. I was like, what? Then she talked about, I just kind of disagreed with this one a little bit. Well, she blamed black voters because they didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. A lot of people ain't vote for Hillary Clinton. Men, women, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, no matter what color. Because a lot of people, they're afraid of that strong voiced woman. It's going to be interesting when the United States gets to a point of a woman who is in charge like that, because a woman is judged on so many things. Is she too soft? Is she too hard? Her look, does she look good enough? We live in a society, they base stuff on looks. They do. They base stuff on looks. And for women, it's 10 times harder. So it's going to be interesting, that woman who breaks through that glass ceiling. Will it happen within the next 10 years? Will we get one very soon? Even in the vice presidential role, because they haven't been able to crack through the vice president role. We need a female being vice president in this country. But I thought that was interesting. She talked about how it felt on that day of the inauguration, and you could see it in her face. Her hair was just pulled back into a ponytail, and how sad it was. And it was sad time. It was. Michelle, you were sad. A whole bunch of people were sitting there sad, and now you look at us today. But it's interesting. It's an interesting documentary becoming streaming now on Netflix. Lizzo is gaining weight during the quarantine. A lot of people are gaining weight during the quarantine. They say she was checking in at 260. Now she's checking in at 300. And to celebrate, she was twerking. Lizzo, you young, baby. You young, but just got to be a little careful. And that's not fat shaming. I'm a big girl myself. But you got to be, I think you have to be healthy. No matter what. You could be skinny and unhealthy. But just be careful, because you get older and you really can't lose it. Singer Adele celebrated her 32nd birthday yesterday. Now, she lost 100 pounds. She looks really different. And sometimes you got to be careful that bobblehead will come in when you lose too much weight. She's did it through exercise, changing her diet. She has personal trainers, which is good for her, but Adele looks drastically, and I mean, all right, there's something in my eye. I'm sorry, y'all. She looks drastically different. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Kelly Rowland says she's got new music coming out. She recently signed to Roc Nation, Jay-Z's Roc Nation, his management company. She's signed on with them. She's coming out with new music. Good news for Kevin Hart. The woman that he had the little affair with, and the wife found out, and then she's trying to sue because of a sex tape. A judge threw that out. It was nonsense anyway. The girl, she was looking for a come up, and Kev, stop cheating on your wife. Nothing good comes out of it, because you can't trust these women. Wait, somebody said, why are you always saying you can't trust these women? Because a lot of these women you can't trust. You can't trust some of the men. But in this day and age, you can't trust some of these women. And this girl here got her face cracked. That $60 million lawsuit out of here. Teddy Riley is talking about a lot of the performers and the hits. He's really opening up about these recording sessions, and he wrote and produced Bobby Brown's Prerogative, one of Bobby Brown's biggest hits. He said this song almost didn't happen because him and Bobby Brown got into a fight. I was like, what? Apparently, Bobby wanted to sing it another way. And Teddy was like, no, you're going to sing it like this. After a 3-hour cooling off period, the two guys got together, and now My Prerogative is a great big hit. Cedric the Entertainer, he got some good news. His show, The Neighborhood, on CBS with Tashina Arnold has been renewed. Quincy Jones, not a good day in court for the 87-year-old producing legend. He has been suing the Michael Jackson estate since 2013. It all centered around music that was remixed after Michael Jackson's death. Well, Quincy said, where's my cut? At first, he asked for $30 million. They chopped it down to $9.7. Now it's been chopped down to $2.6 million, which basically just covers the licensing fee. So Quincy Jones did not win in that battle against the Michael Jackson estate. This weekend, there was so much going on for the Mother's Day weekend. Let's get to Saturday. Erykah Badu, Jill Scott. Their Versus airs on Instagram at 7 o'clock. Also on 7 o'clock on the Weather Channel, where all the comedians are coming together for Feeding America. Sunday, which is Mother's Day, Babyface. He's going to be talking about on Instagram the making of Waiting to Exhale, and he is promising a special guest. Now, who could that special guest be? Angela Bassett. I can't figure out when he says there's going to be a special guest, but he's going to have a special guest. That is Sunday night at 8 o'clock, and that's all taking place on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining. As I love to say, it's not cute not knowing, because you got to know what's going on out here. The country, well, the world is slowly reopening. How do you think? I live on the East Coast, which is not far from the Jersey beaches, and they're opening up a lot of them. Is it too soon? A lot of people saying they ain't doing nothing. They're going to wait till this vaccine. But is the vaccine safe to take when it comes out? There's so many things, but we are all in this together. If you like the channel, hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend, hit the notification so you'll know when videos and the like are dropping. Thanks so much for joining me. Dexter, Toya, they say hi. It's not cute not knowing. Have a great one. Let's hug out. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one and look forward to hearing from you. If I heart you, that means I saw your comment.